It's really interesting hearing all these different, applications of blockchain towards finance. I know that whenever it was really picking up in popularity, we saw in the Ethereum ecosystem that there was really high gas fees, and when that happened, people talked about layer two solutions being the problem, or even other blockchains altogether. I was wondering if you could explain to us what that sort of layer one, layer two means, and also what other major blockchain projects are there as potential alternatives to Ethereum?
Yes, certainly. So it's good that you bring up these terminologies because I think there are a lot of confusions there when people talk about layer one, layer two. In your context, what you meant, layer one, is basic layer fundamental blockchains such as Bitcoin, the Bitcoin blockchain, and then Ethereum blockchain. This is what we call them the layer one. Layer one blockchain. They are the fundamental infrastructure. And layer two, it can mean different things. So it can mean, for example, the side channel solution, the ZK rollup solution that provides the scalability solution or increases the throughput for layer one chains. Yeah, just to recap real quick, layer one solutions that face some issues such as scalability issues that cannot process transactions fast enough. Then we have what we call layer two solutions, again, such as roll-up solutions, side channels, payment channels, those solutions that can facilitate the transaction processing of the layer one blockchains. And you mentioned other blockchains. Well, there are a lot, right? So I think right now a most broad definition, or most, sorry, not definition, categorization would probably be EVM or Ethereum virtual machine supported chains and non-EVM supported chains. As discussed at the beginning of this conversation, the Ethereum ecosystem has grown into probably the largest ecosystem in the crypto space, even larger than Bitcoin, because the use case of Bitcoin is still quite limited to payment, whereas with Ethereum, due to its smart contract compatibility, it supports an array of activities. Right, so we have EVM or Ethereum virtual machine compatible chains. We have the BNB chain, we have Phantom as well, and then we have Polygon, and then there are non-EVM compatible chains such as, let's say, the XRP ledger. And then we have, although I think they're also trying to incorporate some smart contract aspects, Stellar as well, similar, but I saw some AMM applications also on top of Stellar. So I think all those chains, they're trying to incorporate some smart contract compatibility, which did not, which was not in the original design. The same goes with Hedera. In the original design, it was also it's not even a blockchain. It's actually a DAG. It's actually a kind of a hash graph structure. It's not even a chain structure. But one observation we can make is that all those chains, they are competing, and all the technologies that are attractive to the end users, they're kind of being adopted by different solutions, and you can see a convergence of those solutions. Like every chain towards the end will be to some extent smart contract compatible, but at the end of the day, well, at this stage as it currently stands, we have major EVM compatible chains which share a lot of things in common. They all support the Solidity language. Their address formats are the same. And then non-EVM compatible, they have different formats. They have their own, probably also their own smart contract languages and so on and so forth, if that explains it.
Yes, absolutely. That's very interesting. And maybe we would have one more question. I will something that would really interest the British youth is that we mentioned smart contracts, and then we mentioned decentralized finance. But there's something else that really that we've heard a lot recently. It's NFTs, and
Mm-hmm.
NFTs are not something new, but yet we just started hearing about them so much recently. Why do you think this is the case, and what are NFTs actually?
Well, NFT at the end of the day is also a smart contract. It's just a different format. One NFT is a token, and a token at the end of the day is a piece of smart contract that can have a lot of functions, such as, you know, the transfer function, and then there's allowance function that allows some other, you know, account to access the balance of the token. And then there's this read only function such as balance off. Those are embedded functions of a particular token. And then so a token is also a token smart contract, and then NFT at the end of the day is also just a piece of token smart contract. NFT actually existed a long time ago already. We had back then, one of the earliest NFT representation was crypto kitties, and now you have Bored Apes and all kinds of those NFTs. I do have an OpenSea account myself. What I find puzzling is definitely this price discovery course of NFT, how certain NFTs can have such a huge market price. See that I use the word price instead of value, because I think a lot of them is very, very difficult to value those tokens. In terms of technology, there's really, I'm not sure if there's much more advancement compared to other smart contract or token related technology per se, because yeah, in the end, an NFT is just a token with a special, you can think of it as like a serial number that makes it unique, but that's probably on a very high level as far as it goes. And then the NFT would have some kind of reference that points you to the digital asset or a digital file or whatever. It could be a JPEG, a file that's stored somewhere on the internet. So yeah, the reason why I'm saying that it's puzzling, it's really because I still haven't figured out why certain NFTs would have such high market price. But I think the market has calmed down a little bit. Again, it probably has something to do with, of course it would have something to do with artistic value of the digital file, the digital asset that's been referenced there. There is this uniqueness that people really care about. It's just a particular certificate. That I agree. Actually, a lot of claimed, at least, use case of NFT is really certification. So you would, for example, you would have a Gucci bag accompanied with an NFT as a certification. But this maybe it's just me who hasn't been following that much. But at this moment, it seems this real use case hasn't been picked up yet, and there's, at least as it currently stands, it seems still there's a lot of NFT hype there, with not a lot of tangible use case as far as I see. But then again, I can be ignorant there, so feel free to correct me.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, I'm just I fear that I might anger a lot of people. So again, just a disclaimer, it's my completely personal view.
These are the kind of things we want to know, because as part of the series, we want to show British young people where there is potential for value. I've recently been listening to a lot of podcasts and reading articles myself about how we've had a real cultural shift with younger people when it comes to investing, because a lot of people feel like that's the only way they can make money now. So they have a bit more of a oh well mindset of I may as well just throw my money in this anyway, and that seems to have what has fueled this sort of crypto hype. So it's really good that we can get this expert opinion, so that young people understand what they're putting their money towards, and whether it actually does have any intrinsic value or not.
Certainly. Yeah, with NFT, all I can say is, again, my personal view. I'm flattered that you call it expert view, but again, I would like to stress that it's just my personal view that there's a lot of speculation. Although, if we take a step back with DeFi protocols, people have started to come up with some kind of valuation models. There is research out there. There are also a lot of websites providing kind of the protocol revenue generating ability out there. So those are things that can be valued. There are mathematical formula out there, like this, using discounted cash flow or using multiples out there that you can use to actually value those assets, because, well, like for example, as I said, a decentralized exchange, every time there's a swap, a fraction of the fee will be retained. So the protocol itself actually generates value. With NFT, I am not sure, but if there is great tokenomics behind it, if by holding an NFT, you are entitled to some kind of benefits in the future, then maybe they can also be valued. If it's just if it's aesthetic value, then I believe it's more of a question of demand supply, because that's a little bit abstract, I guess, a little bit intangible. Yeah.
Perfect. I think that sums it up. It was really, really interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks again for having me. Thank you.